Angelo here. Welcome to my channel and welcome back for Here's My Stream. And we are back. I'm here with my bro Mono and we are doing Hideout Warriors number 7. And to start off, Mono, what are your thoughts right now?
So, one of my big things about Path of Exile 2 coming up is game design. And a big thing about game design is this. Let me use this example. All right. Without anything that has come out in 2021, what were your impressions of League of Legends while watching William play it and seeing any other trailer or gameplay? What were your initial thoughts on League of Legends?
Now, I'm assuming you're asking me or general question to the audience. If you're asking me, I thought it was a bootleg, cheap, rip-off version of Dota, Defense of the Ancients. I don't know if people know about this, but Defense of the Ancients had the entire crew, so the original squad, which was Pendragon, and the people at Riot, the people that split up to become Riot, they took all the forums, all the new character designs and everything, and they made League of Legends with that. Now, personally, I think their artwork and still frames are amazing. And the way they're running with it, perfect. But because I'm a quote unquote purist, I stuck with Dota. Valve made Dota 2, and I'm a hardcore fan. I wanted to just support Dota 2, and I always never looked at League of Legends. But honestly, right now, I feel like they're taking over the world. That new show, Arcane, is whoever they have that are doing the marketing, everything else aside from the game, because I don't think I'll ever play League of Legends. But all the other things they're doing, like you enjoy TFT, right? Team Fight Tactics, the strategy game, the auto chess type game, and I'm enjoying their Netflix TV series. So aside from the actual game, League of Legends, I think they're a smash hit. But that's not until this year, 2021. Prior to that, I would be like, I'm never playing fucking League of Legends. Kind of like the same thing as like some WoW players would never play Final Fantasy 14. And some still haven't. And they're still playing World of Warcraft.
So, essentially, you enjoy a property that came out of League of Legends. And basically, what I am going towards is the idea of taking an old concept, but then evolving out of that concept. Because pretty much League of Legends is based off of a Warcraft 3 custom game. And basically, with Arcane, you finally respect something that came from that IP. And basically, we play a game, obviously Path of Exile, that is a spiritual successor to Diablo 2. But what is going to be its Arcane? That's my question. And basically, maybe with everything coming out, Lost Ark, Diablo 4, it can shine like it did during the last, I guess you could call it an ARPG arms race, where there was Torchlight, Diablo 3, and Path of Exile. And obviously, when Diablo 3 imploded on itself, everyone went to Path of Exile. And I don't know what happened to Torchlight. Um, I'm sure you can have some graphic or whatever happened to it, but I feel like there needs to be something more. And I don't know if, because obviously League of Legends has Tencent, League of Legends embraced waifus. So instead of depending on competitive gameplay, tournaments, synergy, and all that stuff that Dota preaches, it's not enough. Because you want your IP to be trending. You want people to talk about your IP. You want people to be interested in it. And if your design is based on kind of an outdated successor, then what is your ceiling? Because honestly, I really want to play Path of Exile 2. I love Path of Exile 2. But I don't have an Arcane to point towards. Because let's say eventually, Angelo, you get bored and you're like, you know what? Path of Exile 2 is coming out in a couple months. Why don't I try some TFT? I'll just try to play as the Arcane characters.
Like, in a way, I'm trying to find the right words to say, because now you're saying, because just this multi-marketing level of strategy that Riot, right? Riot, Tencent, and just what they're able to make with taking characters, and here's the thing about it too, is that they are all unique. Like the way Teamfight Tactics looks, everything gameplay wise is amazing. The only thing I don't like about it is the sound design. I feel the sound design is very rudimentary and just kind of, you know, it's nothing like, nothing groundbreaking. It's very basic. And when it came to Dota, it is just hard hitting. My fucking speakers are always rumbling. Like everything, if it's a ultimate or ulti, it's loud, it's strong, it echoes. The bass hits. There's high pitch, but then you hear ultimates in like League of Legends or something, and all it's like oop, oop, oof, bang, like, and that's it. It's like anticlimactic much. But I will say this, like, again, that Arcane show, shit, man, hell of a job. Hell of a job. Whoever's in charge of that, whoever did the writing, and things that I really like about it is the camera. They have a really good, like, whoever the creative person is, whoever like drew it out, storyboard, and there's very few spots that just were like dead time, where I'm thinking, okay, hurry up, what's next? And again, you could be right. You could be right that if I get eventually possibly tired and I just want to get a new game going, I might just hop to a new game. Perhaps it could be Teamfight Tactics because of that multi-layer marketing that they had with Arcane.
So now let's get into what happens when you are tied to an older game. So with the whole Blizzard thing going on, I honestly, from here on out, if they market their game, if they talk about being a successor to Diablo 2, I mean, I'm curious how many people play Path of Exile because of Diablo 2. And if that percentage is less than like 30%, it's time to let that go. And it's time to create something out of your own IP that separates it from the game that you are trying to succeed. And I mean, you've seen the PoE 2 trailers. There's already a new character I like. I'm simping on Asala. I think that character looks freaking great. She's like a battle mage. She looks like a Cleopatra looking chick, and I think she looks really cool. But the whole problem is, what can they do with that character design? After we play the game, like even if there was like a really cool web comic or something about that character's backstory, something. And I just hope that we can stop depending on nostalgia to be able to hook people in. Because honestly, how old are the people that played Diablo 2? And for that matter, how old are the people that played Warcraft 3? Isn't that like 2000 something? Like 2002, 2000.
I mean, if
It's a
anything,
long time ago, right?
yeah, like, remember Asmund calls them what, boomer dads, you know, that
Yeah.
are trying to
So
play their 5 minutes or so.
so if we're tying this game to a game like that came out 20 years ago, what audience are you marketing towards? Because honestly, now who in their 40s and 50s wants to jump in to a game like this or a game like Dota 2? And you're not just going to be able to say, "Oh well, lots of people played Dota and lots of people played Diablo." There has to be something that grabs a new audience. And you also can't tell me that a humongous barrier to entry is going to get a bunch of new players. Because honestly, with all the stuff that Riot's doing, they were bleeding players. Like they like the whole, especially in North America, a lot of people didn't give a shit about the League of Legends. honestly. And obviously, this is opinion and conjecture, and we'll never be able to see like a Steam chart number. But I I I I would like Path of Exile to have some sort of mainstream battering ram, kind of like what League of Legends has now. They have Arcane. If I want to talk to a casual person and be like, "Hey, have you seen Arcane?" And let's say I wanted someone to team up with me and double up, and maybe they're super bored and they're looking for something new to do. All right, let's jump into double up and let's tear it up in team fight tactics. But if I'm like, "Hey, have you ever played Diablo?" And then maybe the person is going to repeat like a machine gun that they don't play Diablo. So then what am I going to hook them in with? And that's basically what I'm asking you. Like, what do you think they can do? Because sure, I'm here simping on Asala, but maybe the Asala comic just spawns a bunch of Rule 34 and no one ever finishes it.
Again, just it comes down to multi-level marketing, and comics obviously are good, but sadly, it has to be unique. And the way that they did, and first, it has to be a good story. Second, it has to have good actors. Three, it has to be animated correctly. And four, like here's the thing that I feel that like the Dota 2 anime kind of on Netflix kind of dropped the ball on. They used an already pretty well-known, animator, and it wasn't like Dota 2 ish. Like a lot of the characters didn't really stand out. Now, granted, again, I don't know anything about League of Legends, so only two people I knew that were from the game were Jinx and Vi. That's it. I didn't know if any of these other characters were any of a part. Suppose I guess a lot of them are, and I'm like, wow, they actually introduced that where I didn't even think that's an actual character from the actual game. But they really did a great job, honestly. So unless now, granted, since this formula has already been done, it's hard to literally copy it. And what are you going to do? You're going to copy the same thing. The biggest thing I say is just have your own unique style. Have your own unique style, and by God, please have a good series and idea, and please don't conform to whatever pressures, like social pressures. Make a story. Make it just a compelling story, and put it out there. Don't worry about what the potential backlash can be, because if you bend the knee, as they always say, you're gonna get shit on. Because I mean, that's you're you're not at any position to actually let your work do the talking for you. In the end, you're just gonna get buried, and it, that's the number one thing I can say is just make it your own and make it look unique. Because every time I see any screenshots, any screen grabs of Arcane, it looks unique. And again, this is coming from a guy who said, like, dude, I will never play anything League of Legends. I'm a Dota 2 fanboy to the end, But shit, dude, they fucking did a great job. I mean, and right now, in terms of just game company, maybe it's because they have money. Maybe it's because they have all these sponsors. Maybe because they're just getting their hands into everything. They're fucking taking over, honestly, at this point. I don't know if it's because now you can always say it's because they have money or, because Tencent or, all the investments. But at the same time, you still need the right people in leadership and the right people running the ship. Otherwise, everything's going to fail. And for me, like I said, I never played any of the games, but they have a hit. Like they can probably run this series for like 10 seasons right now. As long as they continue to give exactly what they have: animation, story, voice acting, character development. And yeah, and a big thing too is dropping it all at once. I don't know if it could have the same effect if it's like week by week, because that kind of pisses people off now, especially if you're already on Netflix. You can't just drop one episode at a time. Just my opinion, but I don't know what else Triple G can do. They need to find. Now, here's another thing. What if they found like some sort of New Zealand animator or developer or something like that that could allow them to make that? Maybe they'll make a side game. I don't. There's so many potential things, but what is going to be the one that's going to actually work out? No idea. No idea.
And don't get me wrong, they are going to garner a lot of attention because with Lost Ark, with I mean, if it even comes out, with Diablo 4, all of these things coming out at around the same time, all of them are going to garner a lot of attention because the same content creators are going to be playing them. And eventually, when the last time it happened, the dust settled and ARPG players went to Path of Exile. So great. If it works out again, it works out again. But here we are. We're what, about halfway through this league now?
Yeah, I think it's gonna end late December. Wait, yeah, actually, oh shit, no, we might be getting close to the end. I know it's sometime in January, maybe middle of January, middle to end of January.
Okay. So we are about 2/3 of the way through a league again. And obviously, I hate doing it, but I look at the Steam charts and there's a 19,000 player 24-hour peak and about 12,000 people playing an hour ago. So, yes, if they win the ARPG war, which if I'm going to bet on anyone, I'm betting on Path of Exile 2 to win between that and Diablo 4. I don't really count Lost Ark as an ARPG. It like has the same camera view, but obviously it's like raiding. It looks frustrating. It's high execution. Yeah, I'm not gonna I'm not even gonna compare these two games. But if it wins the ARPG war, great. But then what? You got a hot Egyptian waifu, and Fate Stay Night doesn't seem to be making a lot of products on theirs, so you can jump into the hot Egyptian waifu market. That's what I say. And any other new characters. And hell, why not? I mean, they're both Tencent, right? Why not have a Path of Exile character be in League of Legends? Why not? I mean, they're both owned by Tencent. I mean, why not try? Or why not get with? I mean, I guess you wouldn't want to see the same animators do a League of Legends thing, but maybe consider it. Have a demo. Take a look at it. Maybe
Yeah.
it works. Who knows?
Again, it's very unique, but I'm now associating that with specifically League of Legends. But you could be right, and I forgot about that. Tencent does. Is it Tencent or Riot? No, Tencent, right?
It's Tencent. I believe Tencent. I'll look it up right now.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Tencent has a stake in Path of Exile or Grinding Gear.
Yeah, they have invested into Grinding Gear. Yeah, so Tencent acquires 80% majority stake. Is that what it's saying? So that's a good amount. So yeah, with that, what can I say? That would be multi-level marketing. That would be smart.
Because basically what I'm saying is, right? What if, and obviously things like this can go south. What if Tencent is just going around taking all these companies that piggybacked off Blizzard, and then they just take them all and combine them? Like, what if they're like, hey, Valve, want to give us Dota? And then they just freaking mold them all together, and they make like a Heroes of the Storm, but out of Dota, League of Legends, Path of Exile. Who knows? But my whole thing is, I just want something more. I just want someone casual to show some sort of interest and to try the game. Okay, maybe the first month of the league is going to be hype, and then the rest of the league is dead game. If this is how it's going to be forever, I'm still going to play it. I'm still going to like it. And I fully accept that this game takes a lot of time investment, and it may not ever be something that caters to casuals. And that's completely fine. But I would like there to be a time where I could say, I play Path of Exile, and they're like, oh, cool. I like that one hot Egyptian chick, or I like that one awesome armored guy. He looks awesome. I want an action figure of him. Something that people are at least aware of. That's basically what I'm looking for.
And with that, yeah, hard to argue with what you're saying. And that's one of the few things that it's just the same thing with everything. How do you get people to care? And right now, looks like Tencent, Riot, just I guess Tencent overall, since they're the overall parent company, they're finding ways. They're buying up thing. They're buying up companies and possibly learning how to do everything from all these companies. I wonder if they have how many anime studios that they must have had, or animation studios that they got to learn how to animate, or take under their own wing, combine it. And I guess maybe that's exactly as you said. They're going to possibly buy up all these extra smaller things and just make their own giant, gaming's PlayStation Battle All Stars, whatever. But now this one will be 10 cents Battle All Stars or whatever the hell.
That was not the game, by the way. That
I'm just saying.
there are a lot of better examples than PlayStation All Stars.
Hey, it's what
Super Smash Brothers. How about that one?
What is that game? Ha, just kidding. But yeah, obviously. But just the All Stars thing kind of sounded great, But anyway, I think that's pretty much a good thing to kind of let people ponder this on the Tree of Woe. Any closing thoughts besides that, Mono, or is it just basically we're just sitting here just contemplating, wondering the what if? Anything else for you?
That's it, man.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I mean, it puts me in a pickle. It makes me sad, really, if anything. And how do you get people to care? Is it multi-level marketing? Is it throwing shit in people's face? Or is it literally buying up and getting everything and then making stuff on your own? You guys tell us in the comments below. Thank you guys very much for watching. And you guys have a great day. Later.
Contemplate this on the Tree of Woe.
Freeze! Who are you? What are you doing here?
Hold your fire! I'm a human!